So, like I said, we're gonna jump into 130 plus ways to lead generate. There are so many ways to generate leads. Leads are everywhere. Does anyone feel that leads are everywhere?
Yes.
Opportunity is everywhere. You can literally open the phone book and start calling people. Because that's how people used to do it. People with the last name A got a lot of phone calls.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you call all of A's, you'll have listings, okay? So it does work. Cold calling works for sure. Is it the only way to generate leads? Absolutely not. There are some general categories, and then I give you some examples of how, like, what to do within that category. This could be a year-long program. Lead generation and sales is such a big conversation, but we're trying to quickly do a high-level overview. Remember, I'm going to send you guys the PowerPoint, and I have a PDF that has all these listed too. So don't worry so much about writing each thing because we're going to go quickly because we're a little bit behind. I just want to give you the high-level overview that hopefully makes, maybe there's some ahas. Maybe write down an aha if you can think of it. Okay, so I'm going to share. The joke is Charity is the new agent whisperer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
the
your
real,
name.
that's the real deal.
The real deal, okay? I will tell you what I see my job is to believe in you guys until you can believe in yourself,
That's whispering.
right? That's the whisper, whispering in your ear. But making things feel possible, because that's really all, obviously giving you the blueprint of how to do it, but getting people into action is a big part of it, is just being very clear on what's possible and then how to do those things. As we talked about earlier, remember the whole process is you're gonna have to learn and train and then process and break down. That happens with all this too. Every single thing that I'm gonna mention has way more work involved. But then I'm gonna explain to you guys how to choose which type of lead generation to do based on a couple of important factors. Who in here has done sales before real estate? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why is all the salespeople interested in lead generation?
Money's in it.
Notice people not here. Probably aren't selling very many houses. Just kidding. All right, so we are going to talk about the essential skills of lead generation because everything is really related to each other. You can't really do one thing without all the rest of these things, right?
Right.
But they're different. They're different things. It's not the same thing. At like the basic level here, branding is how you make people feel. It is the collection of experiences that they have with you and your brand, whatever that is, to consistently reiterate a certain feeling. As a real estate agent, do you think anybody cares about your logo?
No.
No.
Yes and no.
No, they don't.
Oh, thank you, Charity. Shut that one down.
But seeing it, I'm saying, see, no.
Yeah, but they
like
don't
the way
care what it looks like.
No,
We need to
that's not
repeat
what I
it,
meant.
right?
That's not what I meant.
Take the L, girl.
You are your
No,
brand.
I meant like,
Guys.
seeing it.
You are your brand.
That's right. That's
Eric.
it.
Right. Does each of us currently have a brand? Right, everyone has a brand. You leave an impression.
Yes.
I will, as a little joke. Many of us don't know what impression we leave. Because we have our whole inside world that's happening.
Yes.
What you think you're leaving the impression. You guys know what RBF is?
That's why you smile all the time. I get it every
I have to remember.
Yes.
Has anybody ever tried to edit one of my videos? I never stop talking. My face continues to move, right? Okay? It's just whatever. It is what it is. Do I hate it when I'm trying to edit things? 1000%. Alicia doesn't get it. So do I have to be careful when I'm in a setting to remember to do these things, right? Yes. Is there a difference between being the best version of yourself and changing who you are? Right, right. So authenticity is key. You can only be yourself. If you're trying to be something else, you're gonna have to keep on remembering to do that thing, right? And so it's tough. Okay. So you are your brand. A good exercise, if you haven't, done this before, is ask people, what impression do they have of you? What feelings do they get? And these are not clients, these are family, friends, whoever. Because if they're your, not family so much, because we can't choose them, but your friends, then they know you, like you, and trust you, right? They're still in your life for some reason. They vibe with you. So who are we trying to attract? People who are vibing with us. And there is endless opportunity. How many transactions do you really want to do per year? Anybody want to throw out how many transactions they want to do per year? Personally? 50?
Zero.
Anybody 5? 10? There is no shame in this, by the way. Everyone's business.
I'm shooting for 12.
12, 1 per month. 25, 2 per month. 50, 4 per month. 4 to 5 per month, right? Didn't they just, does anybody know how many sales in a year are generally in the Triangle MLS? I'm only gonna use the stats, I know it. 15,000. How many transactions is that?
30.
30,000. Because there's a buyer and seller, right? Well, if you only want to do 50, you might be thinking a little small. Does that make sense? It's shift your perspective. I don't need to work with everybody. I just want to work with my people, because then I'm gonna have a real good time. It is the same amount of work whether you're targeting your people versus targeting people who aren't gonna like you. You might as well make a decision, who do I want to work with? And it's usually, almost always, based on where you are in your life. Generally, the people that we work with are in a similar life situation or a life situation you've been in before.
Yeah, why?
Because you know it. You can relate to them.
You attract it.
You know how to solve their problems because you just solved it for yourself and you get so excited when solve your problem. Yeah. So think of what your vibe is. Come up with some words. Do some research on like color theory and how do colors make people feel. If you want to go that deep. Me, spend 10 minutes on this, keep it moving. Pay somebody from Fiverr. You're gonna change your brand probably 20 times anyways, no one cares. But essentially branding is the mix of things when people see or hear you and how they feel, and you want to continually reiterate that. How many times does someone need to see or hear something before it actually sticks?
7.
9. 9 times.
That explains a lot.
Right. So don't think, I've already posted, I made that before. They don't remember? They don't remember. Do it again. Okay? Now, marketing is different than lead generation. They are certainly related to each other. And it's very hard to do one without the other. If you do just one without the other, can you still sell houses? For sure. I mean, very inefficient. So there's 2 things that we're going to be looking for when we're choosing the type of lead generation that we want to do. What is the most efficient use of my time? What is the most effective use of my time? Is efficient and effective 2 different?
Yes.
Yes. And we all want to work less and make more money. I'm just going to assume the answer to that is yes. So when we are sitting, thinking, and planning, we want to saying if you have 6 hours to chop down a tree and then spend 4 hours sharpening the axe, this is the sharpening the axe part. We get paid to think. Think and grow rich, right? Yes. It's all here. So marketing at its very basics is getting attention. That's it. Now, are there lots of ways to do marketing?
Yes.
1000%. Can you get the wrong attention?
1000%.
Yes. Are you still marketing?
Yes.
Did you get a lot of wrong attention? Are you still good at marketing?
Yeah.
But does that help your business?
That part.
It is the continual fight between people who are looking at marketing for the purpose of lead generation and sales and people who do marketing for vanity. Likes, comments. Okay, you can have lots of likes and comments, but if it's not turning into business, what are we doing? Right? So all of this comes into play, again, reinforcing what branding, what do you want people to, can you get a lot of attention from real estate agents talking smack about clients? Is that gonna get you business?
No.
Right. So be very careful that when you're thinking about the type of content or the interactions people have with you, with all things about you, that it reinforces the right feeling, and then it makes people know you, like you, trust you. That's a different conversation marketing. Can you do, even if you're doing good marketing, have you ever done good marketing, it's on brand, but you're not getting leads from it?
Sure.
Yeah. Because there's no call to action, right? People don't do things unless you tell them to do it. People want to support you, but they don't know how. You gotta tell them. This is where marketing partners with lead generation. At its core, lead generation is exchanging something of value in exchange for their contact information. The key being contact information. Now, can likes on a post, is that kind of a form of contact information?
Yes.
Sure, you have their name, you can DM them. So this is how something like social media can be both marketing and lead generation. There are different strategies depending on what you're trying to do, right? So is it easier to say, hey, I want to give you this thing, this buyer's guide, this relocation guide, whatever the case may be, and click on this link. Will you get better results if you've been talking to more people? Could I still get results by going to see Emily one-on-one? But is that an effective and efficient use of my time?
No.
Should I do one-on-one face-to-face? 1000%. But there are only 24 hours in a day. Except for Beyonce, she has more. Okay, so we want to think of what's the most highly effective and efficient work that can cover a lot of these bases at once. Okay? Lead generation, this is the biggest mistake when people tell me that they've been doing lead generation. And I say, oh, okay, who you been talking to? My database. That is not lead generation. Lead are new people. New blood. That is a growth strategy. There's two pieces to lead generation, growth and nurturing. Growth and nurturing, growth and nurturing. You have to do both at the same time. If you're just doing one, it's a slow march to death. Right? You have to meet new people somehow, whether it's online or in person, or that's just the details. The heart and the soul is how I'm going to meet new people, and even better, how I'm going to meet the people that I like and will vibe with, because it's the same amount of work. It's actually easier. Lead generation is work, for sure. You're going to do the work either way. You might as well do something you like doing to be able to do it enough to get the result that you need. Because you can be really great at networking. Can you walk around kissing babies one day a month and then expect to be the mayor?
No.
He knows. It's consistency.
What'd you say?
Said it
No, you-
depends on who you're kissing.
And if you have a video, okay, so lead follow-up,
Okay. Right first.
it shouldn't say get attention. Lead follow-up is people you've already spoken to. Like database, like past clients, like leads that are quite ready. That's different. 70% of your business will come from lead follow-up. Only if you're actually getting leads though. I'm making my calls and calling it. You said 70%, you haven't brought anybody new in. You gotta bring people in, and then you gotta convert them with good sales scripts. You need to have a focused purpose to get them in front of you as soon as possible. Buyer's presentation is not done over the phone. You need to see somebody's face, either physically in person or on Zoom. What is the best conversion ratio in person? Always.
100%.
You want to get face to face if at all possible. Is it still possible to convert not face to face? People do it all the time. But the most highest conversion ratio, which means I meet one person, I close one person. I meet 2 people, that's 100% conversion rate. I meet 10 people, I close 8, you're gonna do that in person. Unless you're just exceptionally amazing, you know what I mean, on video, which. So, okay, these are skills you wanna build, but the goal is always to get in person, which means conversion is not giving away the milk for free. I'm not convincing you to work with me over the phone. We don't sell over the phone. You can't sell over the phone. You're not gonna send a brochure and like, wow, your brochure is great, I wanna work with you. I mean, you can, and it does happen. But that's not the way you want to operate, okay? And then the last piece here is you need to track your return on your investment. The return on investment of your time and of your money. And when you're choosing a lead generation strategy, these are the things that we want to consider is how long is this gonna take? How much is it gonna cost? How much energy and effort? Do I have to have a special skill? Do I have that skill? Right, it's a lot. There's a lot to think about. And again, especially if you haven't done sales before, some of these may be new terms. So have you guys heard lead generation called prospecting? You guys have heard that term, prospecting? Prospecting, obviously the term is digging for gold. That's what prospecting is. And if you had like corny dad jokes, you know, digging for gold was something else, okay? But this is why prospecting is going out to meet new people in some way, shape, or form. How? Doesn't actually matter, because it all works. It all works if you do it enough in the right way, okay? I'm gonna give you a whole bunch of ways to lead generate. You're not gonna do them all. You're gonna do 2 or 3, right? But which one are we gonna do? And the most important thing is time on task over time. How long are you spending doing it? And for how long? I would rather you underachieve and do less, more intentional, focused work consistently over time. Don't burn yourself out, because then you burn out and do nothing, and burn out and do nothing, and this is why your business is like this. And then you gotta hype yourself up, because you're gonna feel, I gotta do this thing that I hate. I know I gotta do it. And you gather the energy because you're a highly motivated person, or you drink some Red Bull, Celsius, whatever. And you go do it, and you hate it, and you get results, but you don't keep doing it because you ain't doing it, right? Underachieve. Most people are thinking I'm gonna tell you to overachieve. Underachieve, okay? These are some terms that you might hear in sales training. I don't know if you guys have heard these things before. We're talking about a sales funnel versus a sales pipeline. Funnel, just think of a funnel. There's people out here who don't know you, like you, or trust you. And how much they know you, like you, or trust you is where they are in that funnel. And our goal is to bring them down. Now, can people know you, like you, and trust you and not be motivated?
Yes, they do.
Right? So that means it's a volume thing. But people who know you, like you, and trust you, can't they also send you people?
Yes.
Right? So again, at the end of the day, just get in front of more people, talk to more people. And then the pipeline is how long is it going to take for this thing to close? When am I going to make money? Is that an important thing to track and to think about? Who does that on a consistent basis? Because things take longer than you think that they will. How long on average from meeting a lead to closing does it take you? Because it's different for every person, it's different per lead source, it's different for each skill level. But can you make that better? You can, but how would we know if we're not tracking it? How would we know where the hole in the system is? What we can fix if we're not keeping track? Tracking things is the difference between being a 1099 and a business owner. Letting your business push you around and being a grown-up. And we don't want to face these things. But I'm going to tell you guys, for all y'all overachievers, you guys think that by doing this, you're going to feel bad about yourself. When you actually start doing it, you start giving yourself credit for all the stuff you're actually doing. It's actually going to make you feel better about yourself. So if you can move past that fear and get into tracking, it is the only way to scale your business. Get better at what you're doing, right? So that's a longer conversation. But this is the funnel. They go from haven't met to met. Then they're a prospect, a lead, then become a client, then hopefully a raving fan. This is the goals of where we want people to be. And do we treat them differently at different stages of the funnel? For sure. Yes, right? Pipeline is the distance in time and probability that they're going to actually close. So that's, we're bringing people into the funnel and we're looking down the pipeline visually. Now, if they're more motivated, is that a faster and higher conversion? Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever tried to make a non-motivated lead work? It's not you. If they're motivated, they're motivated. You can't make people motivated. You can't affect people's motivation. Have you ever had a seller tell you that, oh, it's okay if we don't, we're okay to let it sit. Mm-hmm. But then they get mad and sell, right. So, who do you want to work with? Motivated people. There's only so much that your sales skills can do, right? If you're stuck on a lead, move on to something else. You're trying to make that work because you have no other leads. You're trying to make it work. Move on. Spend an appropriate amount of time on that lead based on their motivation. Okay? This is kind of like a pipeline, visually, what a pipeline looks like, deal stages. And this is HubSpot, but there's lots of different programs like this. Follow Plus has a version of this. We use spreadsheets. It doesn't matter as long as you can visually see where am I in the transaction. Because every step of a transaction is a point of conversion. From getting the lead to getting them to talk to you. From getting them to talk to you to getting them to meet with you. From getting them to meet with you to sign an agency agreement. To sign an agency to go to showings. From going to showings to writing offers. From writing offers to getting offers accepted and being under contract. From being under contract to be through due diligence. And then from being through contingencies or due diligence in North Carolina to close. There are sales skills needed at every point. And if you're stuck in a certain point, that's something that you can skill up, right? You can get better at each of those points. So these are just kind of, again, a visual of the funnel. So, and this is, if you don't take anything else from here, these are the considerations when you're choosing what type of lead generation that you want to do. There are only two types of people in the world. There's people that you know and people that you don't know. And the goal of all lead generation is to get people that you don't know to know you. Can it be simpler? Right? Easier said than done, for sure. Right? So they're either strangers or they are sphere of influence. There are different lead generation strategies that work for both. And as we go through this, it's like, we want to think, is it going to get me more strangers? Is it going to get me more in front of my sphere? Or is this the type of thing that I can do both? What's more efficient? What's more efficient? To do both, right? Same activity, I can get more people. Okay. So again, the strategies are growth strategies or nurture strategies. So when we're talking about this, is this a growth strategy or a nurture strategy? And then if you're doing a bunch of growth but you have no nurture, you're losing. You're losing your business. 70% of your business will go out the window. So can you be good at lead generation but not good at lead follow-up?
Sure.
So and most people are good at one or the other. Yeah. Yeah, is that you?
Yeah, it's the 400 million things.
Yes.
For me.
Right.
I'm really good at lead generation.
Right.
But
And usually those are what's called brain makers. Zillow. Really good at lead generation, right?
I would estimate we probably, because I did numbers, we probably lost $15 million in business last year from follow-up.
Yeah.
And it sounds crazy to some people, but I mean,
It's a lot.
yeah.
You only do that once. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Right? When you finally go back into your database and start calling people and like, oh yeah, I already bought.
Yeah.
Last week.
Because if
Last
it's
week.
not right now business, we tend to not pay attention to it. We
That's
lose
true.
things. We don't make it a process, a system, and a priority to pay attention to our leads. Remember she was saying her 5 people, that's your hot list? There's lots of ways to have a hot list. But 6 months is not that long from now. We're all worried about snow, nobody's thinking about 4th of July. But this is the time, the work you're doing today is gonna have you business in the 4th of July. So most of us don't think forward that way. We haven't been trained to do that. The more you can learn how to do that, the more deals that you're gonna do, right? And then again, know you, like you, trust you, and motivated. That's who we're looking for, knowing, liking, trust you, and motivated. What is their pipeline position? When will this type of lead generally close? In 0 to 3 months? In 3 to 6 months? Or in 6 months plus? Can anybody give me an example of a type of lead generation that is a long-term lead generation strategy?
For sale by owners, calling.
Depends on your skill level.
What's that?
She's a for sale by owner. Farming. Lower rejection, lower reward. And what is the thing that everybody wants to come in and do?
That's close. Easy.
That's the top 10%. Everybody wants to come in and send postcards,
Oh, yeah.
because there's no rejection, and I don't have to see their face.
I don't wanna get my feelings hurt.
So there's some bravery involved in the 0 to 3 month strategies. The more rejection you're willing to face, high risk, high reward.
Yep.
This is the same in life. It's nothing really, it's in life. But people don't think of it this way. So the 0 to 3 month pipeline is gonna require a higher skill level, probably a higher cost, higher amount of energy, or a combination of those. You guys ever heard fast, good, and cheap? Ain't no such thing. Okay? Sometimes it's a lower cost because it requires a higher skill level. Like cold calling. Sometimes it's a higher cost because it requires a lower skill level, like Zillow. Does that make sense? It's gonna always be a balance. There is no perfect type of lead generation. It's always gonna be hard somehow. You have to choose your hard, right? So we wanna be thinking about this, is this an effective use of my time? Is this the most efficient use of my time? Can I do this one activity and use it in multiple ways? That's what you wanna consider when you're choosing your lead generation strategies. Okay? The process is to build your database somehow. One of the first things that we have people do is write down a list of 400 names, people you know you like, you trust you. Does everybody know 400 people?
Yes.
Does everybody know 400 people? You may not have their contact information,
But you know 400
but you know.
Starting, I'll do 10 at a time, 10
10 at a time.
Like in 40 days, I'll have my.
Especially for like Gen Z, you just have to the Snapchat, right? Like you don't actually have the contact information, right? You gotta build that database. You should be making $1,000 per person per year of a database that has their first name, last name, phone number, email address, physical address, and you're connected on social media. You have to have all of those things. Yes. $1,000 per person per year. You have to have first name, last name, phone number, email, physical address, and connected on social media somehow. So who wants to make 100,000? How many people is that? 100. Does that mean that those particular people are going to close with you? No. No. But they know, you're going to activate these people to think for you, to say your name in rooms of opportunity. It's not that people don't think about you, but this is your job. You're thinking about real estate all the time. They're thinking about soccer, right? Have you guys, that thing, the reticular activation system, when you buy a red car, you see a bunch of red cars?
Yep.
So you need to activate your people. Because opportunity is where? Everywhere. If you're listening for opportunity because you've been asked to do it, because I want to support you, but I'm not in a position to buy a house, but I want to support my friend, are they going to be more in tune to picking up people talking about real estate? So stop thinking that your sphere of influence is the ones that are going to buy or sell. This is the biggest pushback that I get from agents. Well, my sphere is never going to buy. I didn't say that, right? I didn't say that. The whole goal of everything that we're doing is to get people who are not our SOI into our SOI. But y'all refuse to call your SOI. What are you going to do with them once they're your SOI? This is the lowest hanging fruit. If you contacted all 400 of those people with a goal to get in person,
Yes.
for coffee, not to be weird and talk about real estate, but just to get coffee with your friends who you like, and you try to set 4 to 8 appointments in person this month, that will set you up to have any kind of year that you want to have. Okay? So when you have this database, you're going to connect with and nurture this database, provide value to them, stay in touch and stay interested. I didn't say stay interesting, I said stay interested. Lots of us who are maybe galvanizers sometimes rely on being interesting, whereas true sales is being interested. That's called ninja selling. You guys have heard of ninja selling? Amazing book for you guys to read. Meet with the lead, talk to them about your USP, which is your unique selling proposition. Do we each have a unique selling proposition? Does it feel sometimes with producers like I'll never get there because why would they work with me if they could work with her or him? I'll never forget Tina taught us this. She said, if you go to a listing appointment and you're competing against somebody on my team and you're brand new, here's what you say. Oh, okay, you're gonna meet with Tina's team, are you gonna meet with Tina? Or just someone on her team?
Shade, I love it.
She told us to say it. Because there's always a way to spin it.
There's always a way.
Can you say that again? You're meeting with Tina? Oh no, somebody on her team. Oh, okay, so you're just a number to them. That's not true. does that make sense? What do people like to feel?
Importance,
I
value.
might be a new agent, but I'm only focused on you, baby. You're my number one priority. You're feeding my family. You think I'm gonna do a good job for you? That's your unique selling proposition. There's always one. Maybe you're a numbers person. Maybe you're a contractor. Maybe you're I don't know, whatever it is that you have in your background, you have something that makes people want to work with you. And you gotta believe that in your heart. Convert the lead to a client, and then do a good job. And I think that that's sometimes assumed. It's very important to do a good job. Agents who've done a lot of transactions. Have you ever been on the other side of a transaction with an agent and you're wondering how they got that client?
Yes,
To take it a step further, I've been on the other side where we've ended up giving more value to their client than they did.
Yeah, which is the bar is real low,
Yeah.
okay? So all of you guys in here, you're comparing yourself to people who, you know, at this level. Compare yourself to everybody else, they're way down here. And you're like such a perfectionist, you won't go talk to people. These people are going to buy or sell with or without you. When you contact your sphere of influence, do you think it's ever happened in the history of the world that somebody said, I just love Charity so much, I'm gonna buy a house so she can make money? But that's what you are stuck on. That's your hesitation to call your family and friends. I don't want people to think I'm a person. They won't. It's not Girl Scout cookies. We're not like, hey girl, get this 31 bag. Do you know what I mean? That's not what we're doing. And from our conversation earlier, all these things that you need to learn, you need to think that there is a child running towards the edge of a cliff. And it is your responsibility to grab that child before they fall off the side of the cliff and rescue them. The better that you are, the more you believe in your value, lead generation becomes a rescue mission. Right? But it's hard when you don't believe in that value for yourself, because you don't feel like you're at that level. But I promise you, you are. Okay? Perfect. Those are my little pieces. So these are all kind of like just, and I'm gonna like very quickly go through this. With your sphere, friends, family, casual acquaintances, past clients, anyone who you know that there is a 1% chance that they would work with you. Or refer somebody to you. You're gonna separate those people into A's, B's, C's, and D's. An A person is like, hopefully your mom, right? They will always work with you or else they're dead to you, right? Okay, so like, no, like you're dead to me, no, so that's your A's. Is there a way that you treat A's differently than everybody else? For sure. Do we sometimes not treat A's with as much love and care because we kind of take them for granted in the suit? Maybe, I don't know. You'd have to track. So A's are somebody who's anywhere between 80 to 100% chance of working, or sending a referral. And this is just an instinctive feeling. These numbers could be different for you. I'm just kind of throwing them out there. A B is anywhere from 50% to 80%. A C is 1% to 49%. If there is a 1% chance, you're a C. And what are you trying to do? Make C's into B's. Make B's into A's. That's your nurture. And you constantly have to go get more C's and bring them down to becoming B's and then A's. So growth, nurture, at the same time to get the results that you're looking for. And you need to spend an appropriate amount of time on the types of growth that will get you to your financial goals in the amount of time you need to get there. These books are great books to give you really, really specific instruction on how to work your sphere. Ninja selling, who's read Ninja Selling? Amazing. 7 levels of communication, miracle morning for real estate agents, tipping point, things like client appreciation events. There's a thing you can do that's called like a thanks a latte. You get a card, and you load that card, and you send a text message to your friends and say, just want to thank you for being awesome. And you don't pay anything. Just say, hey, this is good for today only. And you don't pay unless they go. Is that different than buying $5 gift cards and sending in the mail and who knows if they ever use it? It doesn't have to be expensive. I want y'all to do as much free 99 as possible. You guys know free 99? And your initial goal is your first 30 days, you need to have as many cups of coffee with as many friends as possible. And with if you read 7 levels of communication, you pick one day in a location that you can stay and schedule them back to back. And preferably in a way that the overlapping people need to meet each other. So now you're providing massive value. You can do this with business owners, right? Wouldn't that be cool? Like you're asking them, hey, how can I support your business? How can I become your go-to? When somebody says real estate, you think me. What do I have to do? You gotta ask. That's called call to action. Most of us are not getting, because we're afraid to ask. It's called asking for the sale. Okay? Okay. Sphere is a whole thing. It's a lot. Lots of ways to do this. These are examples of strangers. These are people who potentially are qualified or specialized and are working with your ideal client. So if your ideal client loves golf, a good business owner to talk to would be a golf instructor. Does that make sense? The people that you love and want to work with are not a monolith. They do other things. You've got to know them enough to know what's important to them outside of real estate. Because people don't buy houses. They buy homes. They buy neighborhoods. They buy cities and zip codes and school systems. So they're looking to you to be that connector, source of the source, which all y'all are anyways. Okay? These are usually pretty easy because they want more business too. Especially blue collar businesses really suck at sales. Really bad. Really bad. Great at their thing, hopefully. Not so great at sales. So you become that person, and then they become your person. Reciprocal energy. So you want to have some kind of consistent communication, systematize that process. Very effective. Can be in person, but you can also do this through social media. Have you guys seen those social media giveaways? Right? Like my page, like their page, like this post, share, and tag 5 of your friends, enter to win a gift card. Same concept. How much does that cost you? Are you getting goodwill from that business owner? Right? Maybe they give a raffle or whatever. Be creative. Here's some examples. I'm not going to read through them. You guys can read through these later. And then realtors. To realtor referral is only like 6%. The number of transactions that close realtor to realtor referral is 6%. If they're coming here, they're coming from somewhere else. Should you maybe know where people are coming from? And maybe make some relationships with agents in those areas. Maybe you have a specialty, military, 55 plus. Know all of the people. Don't generalize, specialize. Who gets paid more, a general doctor or a heart surgeon?
Our surgeon, specialization,
Specialization wins every time.
every time.
You can do networking, volunteering, hobbies. These are generally longer term strategies. Sometimes they can be faster, but these are 6 months to a year, but this is the growth. This is the growth and nurture. Grow. You can't just show up to one networking event, get everybody's business cards and never come back. You can, and it's not gonna be very effective. You gotta put in some face time, add some value. Because isn't that the key to add value to people's lives? The more you add value to people's lives, so I'm telling you to go out and meet new people and add value. Doesn't that feel way better than I'm telling you go get leads? It is the same thing. True sales is connecting and solving people's problems with a solution that is the best solution for them. Being involved in a neighborhood, do not become the president of the HOA. Never become the president.
I'm not the president.
People will hate you.
You're just the
Vice
vice
president.
president.
I'm the member at large.
Oh, member at large. Indeed you are.
I'm the
So you need to be the welcoming committee. Anytime somebody moves in, you give them a little gift basket.
Oh, that's where I am. Yeah, see?
Events, bunko nights,
That's right. I'm the party animal.
pickleball
Yeah,
tournaments.
I'm the fun guy.
Right. Because that brings your brand, that affects your brand, and people think of you as the HOA president who they hate. Right? Consistency with brand. Again, you can read all these later, but it's basically just go find people and talk to them. Volunteering, especially if that is something that's very near and dear to your heart. Does anybody have a specific cause, for example, that they really love? You don't have to. But like I ran a nonprofit to fight human trafficking for 4 years in North Carolina.
Breast cancer.
Breast cancer. Pets. So what? Pets. Like SPC, whatever. I don't know what it is, but
Like rescue.
rescue. Yeah. You're already gonna do it. You see, these are your people. These are people who care about what you care about. Aren't you gonna connect with those people like naturally? Specialize. Find your niche. Find your people. Know everything about them and put yourself in front of them physically or digitally. And then lead generation happens. But you're not going in like with the idea to get leads. Hopefully. Other hobbies. You guys know meetup.com? You guys ever heard of meetup.com? Yeah? No? You guys haven't heard of it?
Yeah.
The younger kids haven't heard of it. It's a website that basically, if you have any hobby, rock collecting, crocheting, figurine collections, it's a group of people who get together and do the thing. Are those your people? Okay, yeah, find your people. Go hang out with people that you like. And also remember that we were talking about the energy, the vibe. What we call is fulfillment first. When you're getting a business off the ground, especially if you have like a full-time job, another job, like we're working so hard, which is necessary, that we forget to find joy. So fulfillment first. When you're happy, people are attracted to you. What's the most attractive thing? Happiness.
God.
Right. Positivity. Okay? If people don't naturally like you, you should probably not be in this business. There's nothing I can do to help you. That's beyond, I am not a magician. It's like sitting in somebody's like salon chair and saying, make this happen, and they're not a magician, okay? I can show you how to go from brown to blonde, okay? But I can't make you a unicorn. There are just certain things. One of them, you have to like people. Not everybody. I don't like everybody. I'm very picky with kids. I don't like everybody's kids. Okay? And I don't have to. Because the person I want to work with finds that funny. Right? I would be annoyed if, I don't know, whatever. But I know myself. Part of that is a really hard thing just for most people to just discover who they are and be true to who they are. That's an internal struggle sometimes. Just really so. But usually when I talk to people enough and I ask them enough questions, I find the thing. It's the thing that makes your face light up. The thing that brings you joy. And then there's generally a specialty within real estate that caters to that population. So you can become the expert in that thing. You get to be known as the whatever girl. What am I known as? The new agent whisperer, right? Like people know new agents are my jam. Does that mean that I can't talk to other agents? No, I can and I do, right? But people know me as that. You go all in on something. But make sure it's something that you want to be known for. Not something bad, right? So horse farms or investors or subject to or, you know, again, there's specializations within specializations. Isn't horse farms also luxury?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Do you wear heels
Oh, yeah.
when you're showing horse farms?
No, you wear boots, baby.
Right? So you can do luxury and not have to be this vision that you're limiting yourself in your head of what's possible for you. Whatever that thing that you love. Okay? Become an expert in the thing. Short sales. Start doing seminars about short sales. Pre-foreclosures. Being sensitive to what's happening in the market would be a good way to become an expert in something that's relevant at the moment. Okay? Oh, there's luxury equestrian land. New construction, can you be a new construction expert?
Yes.
There is so much within each of these niches. Niches? I think it's niche, but my favorite saying is the riches are in the niches. With a B, okay? So it doesn't rhyme if I say niche. The reach and the sheesh, okay, whatever. So, okay. So niche down, niche down, whatever it is, niche down. Events. This is a big thing that a lot of people don't do in this industry. Festivals, fairs. Anybody live in Apex? You guys ever been to the Apex Peak Fest? Get a table. It's like $50. There are 10,000 people who come to this. Aren't they your ideal client, potentially? Comic-Con?
Maybe it's spectacular in Holly Springs.
There you go. I'm not a scary person. Like I don't enjoy it. Like Halloween's not my thing, not my jam. Okay?
It was a trunk or treat. It was a trunk or treat.
Right, but whatever. It's not my, I don't, it's not my passion. My passion is massages.
Yes, that's a great passion.
You ask me where's the best place to get food, coffee, or massages, I got you. There's very few things that I'm good at.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Next Friday. What's up?
As long as it's at a massage, we'll talk. All right, okay, so
Let's do it.
business owners, I love business owners. I don't do small talk. I'm like, what's your lead generation strategy? Tell me about your trauma, right? Okay, so like, I want people who are in touch with themselves and actively trying to be better, right? Because that's where I am in my life, right? So hopefully this is just letting you think. You can also put on events, first-time homebuyers, first-time sellers, first-time investors, experienced investors. The more you can be seen as an expert and do things and invite people, isn't it much easier to call people and invite them to something? So there's a saying in sales, always be closing. I say always be inviting. Gives you an excuse to call people, text, post, whatever. Much easier to invite people to something that you feel like is going to give them value. Okay? Move-in parties, what your clients do, offer to pay for a move-in party, invite their neighbors and friends and family. This is the type of stuff that's kind of old school. Like, billboards. Are billboards effective? It depends, for Mark Spain. But Mark Spain, it's kind of like farming a neighborhood and just doing it once. You can't say farming a neighborhood is not effective when you only did it once. If you have the budget to paper the entire world, can it be effective? But top of mind mentality marketing is meant to support your branding efforts, which means you have lots of other stuff going on at the same time. So it's not the first place I would go. Could you do it? It's also really hard to track your return on investment. How do I know that lead came from that? That lead might have seen me somewhere else, but that solidified it because they saw my face on the side of the road. Yeah. Can you do the same thing on social media? Yes. For free $99. Right? So that's the beautiful thing about social media. There's some different options, local magazines, TV shows. This was how people used to have to do it. I mean, didn't have the internet. You guys know there was a time there wasn't internet? What? I know. And right now with this whole TCPA coming up and cold calling and all that stuff that they're trying to stop, what do we have to go back to? Everything else. The traditional ways, and it all works. Okay?
They got the new,
The new laws about cold calling in Texas.
yeah, the new law's about to come out,
Yeah.
about to shut it all down.
So, dealing with strangers, there are some industry-specific strategies that you guys have probably heard of at this point. These strategies generally tend to be strangers, but they generally tend to be motivated. So that hits our target, right? These are the types of things that close more quickly, because you're in front of people who already want to buy or sell. Fear is great. They may know you, love you, trust you, but they're 5 to 10 years away, right? And you should still be doing both at the same time, but this is the stuff that kind of does it faster, which is why people kind of harp on these things. Door knocking, doing iBuyer letters, farming, cold calling, open houses. Sound familiar? Social media. Pick a platform. Except for TikTok, because it's probably going well.
Dang.
Probably not.
Just keep it.
Pick a platform, because it's hard enough to excel on one platform. Digital marketing. Google My Business. Google Ads, Google Local Services, Facebook ads. Squeeze pages and landing pages like your KD Core. Certain funnels that you give things away and drive ads to. That's like way far in the future, like let's just call our friends, right? Like, but some people are at that level, right? Paid lead sources tend to be higher motivated. They're clicking a button to go see a house on Zillow. And that's why they're more expensive, right? Low skill, high cost. Pretty good ROI. It works. Realtor.com, other types of referral, like pay at closing companies, a lot of these. A lot. Like Veterans United, Dave Ramsey's programs. And then potentially get an ISA for cold calling. Y'all keep on trying to give away the one thing that you should be good at.
Talking to the clients.
Sales.
Mm-hmm.
You can't put your business in somebody else's hands if you don't know how to do it. Can you supervise somebody who's supposed to cold call if you've never made a call in your life? No. Cold callers are really hard to find. It's a very specific personality. And the thing is, if somebody else is making that appointment, then that means that person on the other end of the phone connected with them. Are they going to connect with you when you show up? Maybe. Get it? Oh, that's it. Lots of different types. There's a whole PDF that goes with this. I'll send it to you. Okay? So, and I'm working on a spreadsheet. Of course I am. That has a list of a whole bunch of strategies. It's actually more. It's almost like 200 right now. Really? And I'm going to have a column for skill, low, medium, high. Pipeline, 0 to 3, 3 to 6, 6 plus. I'm working on that for you guys, for us, and I will send that to you guys once I have it. So, of course I have a spreadsheet. Everybody knows me knows I have a spreadsheet. Okay.
To get this, do
You want us to email you?
No, if you registered, did you register? Teresa registered.
Yeah.
So I'll send it to the whole list of whoever. Right. There's another conversation to be had about focusing about 80% of your time on leads that will close in 0 to 3 months. Leads that will close in 3 to 6 months, you should spend about 15% of your time. Leads that will close in 6 months plus, about 5%. Doesn't mean 0, but it's not your top priority. Because even as you're calling the pipeline position of people who might close in 0 to 3 months, some of them will still take 6 months and 6 months plus. So you're building your future pipeline at the same time. But one key thing you have to add, none of this is going to work if you don't follow up and track. Right? Well, it'll work, but not the way you want it to work. It's these simple things that can triple your business in 6 months. That's, if everybody asks, that's how we're doing it. Right? Tracking. Boring spreadsheets. I love them. I love them because it happens. Yes.
They work.
Okay, and they work. They work. Magic spreadsheets. All right, so any questions? And I'm going to try and get, I don't even know if we have people on Zoom anymore.
Yeah.
We're like just going and going. 31.
They're listening.
Okay. Any questions from the peanut gallery in the room or online? It's a lie, I know you guys are processing. Was this familiar to you guys? I mean, some of you better be. For my people, we talk about this all the time. But was there any aha moments or things you hadn't thought of before, or that you're gonna like be determined to do moving forward?
All of
Thanks. You sparked something with me. I'm going to Chicago next week, which is where I'm from.
Yep.
I've been here for 15 years. But I was thinking about sending a message on agent referrals just saying, hey, I'm from there, love my Chicago, and I'm going to be back in town for a hockey tournament for 5 days. Anybody want to grab a cup of coffee and
Yeah.
look for an agent?
100. Have coffee with your sphere there.
What's that?
Have coffee with your sphere there. People
Yeah.
drop their sphere when they move away.
Yeah, I'm
That's
back in
still
town.
money. It's called
Where you
mailbox
at?
money.
North Carolina? Tell them about North Carolina. You know,
That
it's
mail-
cold
that
up
money
here.
just comes in the
It's
mail.
warm down there.
Always be trying to meet
I can get
people
you
when
out.
you travel.
Yeah, airlines, there's always a conversation, especially on the way home.
Yeah.
On the way home, you're coming in, right? But either way, you can help people anywhere. And people don't know that. People don't know that they can support your business from another state until you tell them. Hello, hello. People want to support you, but how do they know? You gotta tell them. It's a call to action. So just constantly be thinking of any kind of content and marketing that you're making. You have a hook, just something that grabs people's attention quickly. You have a body, which should be important and beneficial to them. Make it about them. Tell a story when we're selling. Stop selling 1 + 1 = 2. That's a fact. Those are features. No one cares about facts. They care about why does 1 + 1 = 2 benefit me? And what's the advantage of 1 + 1 = 2 versus 2 + 2 = 4? So features, advantages, benefits. You gotta say the feature to explain it, but you gotta tell the story. Why does this matter to you? Interest rates are gonna da-da-da-da-da. Why does this matter to you? And you can literally say, why does this matter to you if you can't remember how to do it?
Right.
And then give them something to do at the end. Call to action. And that's written marketing, calls, social media, all marketing is the same. Hook, body, call to action. Hook, body, call to action. Tell stories preferably, because people connect with stories. Okay. Alrighty, well, any other questions, guys? And we went a little over. Really was an hour. That was good. For me. I took out a lot of slides, guys. I'd like to let you know. No, you guys are good. Well, we're gonna see you guys next month. It is the first Thursday next month for sure. And of course, we'll send out.
I have one unrelated question.
Okay. Real quick, we're gonna do AI next month.
Okay.
So it's one of our topics for sure, AI and tech and tools. Because we do want to focus on helping you guys get some leverage and different types of leverage, okay?
Teams?
All right, guys. Yeah, we should do a team
No.
next time.
Teams and partnerships.
Oh, yeah, that's a
That might be a good one.
Bye, guys. Bye, people online. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us. Y'all are awesome. We'll send you an email with the recordings once they're done. Give me about a week to process them. Bye.
Cause we talked about that a couple times today.
Yeah.
Bye.